Okay, so I did not have a lot of sleep last night. I just woke up from a nap about 20 minutes ago. I was deep asleep just before I go to my second job. And I had to get this video done today. I only had about 30 minutes free time today, maybe less. I want to get this done just before I go in. So it's about locking in, right? And getting myself ready, because I was sound asleep. I was still ready to go to bed about 10 minutes ago, but the way here, sing a song, hype myself up, because one of the things I'm really gonna have to learn is how to execute when you're tired and how to bring that energy when you're tired, especially when making videos, right? Is very important. So this is just another part of that, pushing through that resistance, that being tired, being lazy, not wanting to do it, doing it anyway, and trying to do it good. So that being said, today's topic is about something I've done today, which is it's better to do nothing than do something that doesn't give you any leverage or feedback when you're trying to say grow or get something back, right? Develop, whatever you want to call it, right? So by that, what do I mean? Something that I do, and I think a lot of people do, is consume content, right? YouTube, Netflix, stuff like that. And we're addicted to consuming content, right? And that was something I wasn't familiar with until I actually watched a video called something like How to Deal with Content Addiction. And I watched it and I was like, what do you mean content addiction? And we're not designed to always be watching stuff and be stimulated, right? Like people understand what dopamine is and dopamine abuse, and we kind of like, oh yeah, I don't do this, I don't do that. But we all do, right? Even TV, we're not meant and designed to just sit there and watch TV all day. But we do it because it's better than doing nothing, right? At least to the part of our brain that likes being stimulated. So we're all overstimulated because when we're watching a bit of stimulation, we're not getting that kind of passive effect. So you can think of it as mental fasting, right? When you fast, or when you're not digesting, your body can do a lot of things that it wasn't doing before. So by that, it's like, say if you have 100 energy points, right, physical energy points, you have to dedicate 5 points or 10 points all the time to say breathing, recovery, digestion, right, keeping your body warm, whatever. If you do fasting, the whole idea behind that, again, there's loads of other things, it's just a really simple way of putting it, is that when you stop digesting, your body can then start doing other things. And one of the things like that is called autophagy, where phagy or something like that, and it's like when it breaks down old cells and it kind of does a big recycling process in your body. The way I think about it, and what I've really experienced actually not trying to just consume stuff all the time, is that your mind does a kind of mental autophagy. And autophagy is auto, right? So the what's the word of it? Etymology of it is auto, which is self. Oh no, yeah, it's like self, right? So it's on auto, it does it itself. Phagy is eating, right? So it's self-eating. Your body goes in and it just eats up all the parts that aren't working, and it puts it to better use. It's like a cleanse, right? And I think we've lost that ability to mentally cleanse. And when I say cleanse, I don't mean that in a woo-woo spiritual way. I mean in a literal way, right? Something might happen to you that day you didn't like, or produced a weird emotional response. You don't get time to process it, right? You go, oh, if that, or like, oh, poor me, tell yourself a victim narrative, or whatever it is, and that's it. You get on with your day, and then it might annoy you. So you're like, all right, TikTok, bang, 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 bang. You didn't spend any time to think about it and process it. And then you got to think there's a cumulative effect here where you're building up, and no wonder people can't focus. No wonder you're always trying to run away more, because it becomes a coping mechanism. And no wonder so much stuff happens. It feels like it's happening to you, and not for you, or because you done it, right? There's no cause-effect relationship. Everything's happening to you. You can't see any of the effects. You can't see how maybe a certain belief system you have is like fudging you over, right? You can't see, and again, you can go into all of these different things, but I'm just putting in words that I know. You see a certain belief system fudging you, a certain habit of yours is leading to certain outcomes, a certain behavior of yours is leading to certain outcomes. You can't see any of that. So you're a victim, like, oh, life's like this, life's like that. You go to the lowest common denominator of thoughts and beliefs. You become literally like a robot. And then you just complain that life's unfair, right? Like a lot of people do. Life sucks, like this, like that. Oh, this is just part of life. And that was me for a while. And it's not that I've like, you know, leveled up in any like remarkable way, but at least I feel a lot more responsible for the outcomes of my life, a lot more accepting of like what my life is. And then from that place I can do things to actually improve it in a way that I actually feel is good. I don't just, you know, run away anymore. I don't find video games and stuff like that fun, because it's just for me at least, it feels like a distraction, right? And again, it's not even in a whole like, oh, I'm grinding to a better future. It's just like, they're not that fun. They're not actually that fun. If I could spend a day outside, if I could do other things, I find that way more enjoyable. And I was a big gamer, but again, when I took the time to not be stimulated all the time, most of the value I got from video games and watching TV and stuff was, all right, it distracted me. It distracted me from just like being with myself, right? And to loop this all back in, today I was super tired. I could have, I had about an hour and a half before work, and I said, right, I'm gonna put a timer on, I'm gonna get a nap. Even though I could stay up, even though I could watch YouTube for like 30, 40 minutes before like falling asleep, like as I'm falling asleep, why don't I just take that whole hour to do nothing and just see if I can be myself, right? And this is, you know, it could go really deep into why people don't want to be themselves. I said a bit earlier, there's a lot of unprocessed energy and mental chatter there that they don't want to be with. That's why people like getting high. That's why people like drinking. That's why people like taking like shit tons of caffeine and all these other stimulants, right? Nicotine, whatever. But just sit with yourself. And it sucks. You might feel like it sucks, right? People want to pull their hair out, but if you stick with yourself, there's a lot of benefits. And I think, coming back, one of the biggest ones is that autophagy, that self-eating of nonsense and background chatter. And it really just lets your brain kind of clean itself, reset itself. And in the bigger scheme of things, about me being trying to be more productive and more have more agency in my life and do things that I've decided that I choose to do, that I think are good for me, instead of, you know, just endlessly stimulating or running away or procrastinating, is that by choosing to do nothing, I'm actually getting way more back for me than doing something that's bad, right? So, and again, it's not that YouTube and watching stuff is inherently bad. It's just something I've deemed I don't want to do. So if I keep doing it, in spite of my own conscious decision to not do it, I think that's bad, right? It's not the YouTube itself, right? So if I choose that is something I don't want to do, and then I opt to do nothing and just sit there with myself, even if I just stare at a wall for a bit, recover, and then go do something that I actually want to do, like do some personal like work on my well, whatever stuff, right? I won't go through all of that. Or I do some professional work or something. I go do like a house chore or something. I don't know, something I've been putting off. For me, that's way more productive at the end of the day. I'm like, okay, cool, bang that off, do something else, right? Yeah, right, okay, so I'm gassing out here mentally. But I probably wouldn't have been able to do this for this long if I had sat on YouTube and not gone to bed straight away. So that's what I'm talking about. It's better to do nothing than do something that's bad for you. And then I guess I've done this in public as well. That's another public speaking thing. I'm sitting in a car park right now. I've had people walk past and stuff, and I've just been locked into what I'm saying. Lost my concentration a bit at the end there, because again, it came into my mind, I got to end the video, and then I forgot how, and then I kind of lost my place. I'm like, oh, I don't know how to end videos, which I do, because I'm ending the video right now. Okay, bye-bye.